Good morning. It is the second day after our winter storm here in the Ozarks. It's getting toward the end of January. Yesterday I spent a good part of the day with a snow shovel, chainsaw, and on my tractor sort of cleaning things up. So I've got some broken branches. That one there is from the hackberry. I got it cut out of the way to where I can get around and it's not putting so much stress on things. It's going to have to wait for clearing up a little bit before I can actually get up in the tree and get that cleaned up. Let's take a walk back toward the barn. My solar panels had about 9 inches of snow on them yesterday. Down on the ground, I don't think that any more than about 5 inches probably stuck to the ground, just because the ground was warm and it was melting some from down below. It would be pretty if it wasn't for the amount of work that this is keeping me from doing. We'll get a little bit closer to the barn and take a look there. So down here at the new barn, yesterday I had a tree branch break off. I guess it was the tree itself, about 4 inches in diameter up there, and it landed on the corner of the barn there. Nothing went through it, and fortunately it was the soft part of the limbs that landed on the barn, so I don't think there's going to be any damage, but I will have to check the shingles once the snow melts. Now looking up on top, fortunately I was able to work up there for about an hour or two the other day, and I'm within a couple feet of the top of the roof with shingles, so I don't think I'm going to have any problem with moisture getting in, but we'll find that out too. You can see here the tire tracks. I had the tractor out yesterday and did a bunch of snow clearing around the place. Up here behind the barn, on my roadway coming in, it was pretty much blocked yesterday. There were several dead tree branches there that I had to take the chainsaw and cut up before I could plow any snow. Well, this tangle of brush was all material that had fallen from this maple tree, and you can still see a broken branch up high. I'm going to have to at some point be able to get up there and cut that down, or it's going to fall down. Actually, it's not very well attached, so I might be able to take the tractor and pull it down. But that tree has had a lot of grapevines grown into it, and what that allowed it to do was for a lot of snow to accumulate. So unfortunately, this area acquired quite a bit of snow in the trees, and that old maple tree just wasn't enough to handle it. I do have my trail built back in here, so I can get in with the truck if I need to, assuming it doesn't end up too muddy. Now today, it's only supposed to get up to about the freeze-thaw point, around 30 degrees or so. I think it's 23 right now. And I don't guess that there's an awful lot of this, especially that's in the shade, that is going to thaw, although maybe it will. I was really concerned that that walnut tree, as old as it is, and it has some dead branches in it, that would be a problem, in that it could have dropped a branch on top of the that low pitch roof there. and maybe put a hole through it. And that hasn't happened, at least so far. There's still about 4 inches of snow on top of that, and I'm really glad that as heavy as this snow was, that it didn't accumulate any more than that. They are 2x6 rafters, and they are spanning a good distance, so there's not a lot of structure there. Now, the one thing that did happen is that I've got a maple tree here that really was a good, healthy maple tree, or is a good, healthy maple tree, and I had the kids zip line into this tree, and there's a branch about 6 inches in diameter that snapped off there because of being overloaded with snow. I got my driveway cleared out to the rhino shed, and then my neighbor, she said that she has always had problems with this stretch of her driveway in wintertime when it snows, if she does have to come down. So yesterday I went ahead and plowed the lower part of her driveway up to that curve, up to and around that curve. There was close to a foot of snow that had accumulated there, probably because it was drifted in a little bit, but I got that cleared out for her to where hopefully she can get out if things are unsafe. Now, the one thing that several of my neighbors have told me is they are without power. And for me, I don't even get to realizing that I am without power because I'm not hooked up to the grid. Yesterday, I had to run a generator most of the day just because there were clouds. There was a good solid cloud cover and no sunshine, so I didn't get much solar charging done yesterday. So I ran a generator all day yesterday, but today, especially with the reflection off the snow, I should get fully charged batteries here within a few hours. Standing here with my back to my shed is the giant maple tree that I am so proud of. Now, if you remember from one of my previous episodes, there's a branch that's about 36 inches in diameter, and it's covered in snow there, that I cut down, that was leaning over the top of this shed. And I am certainly happy that I was able to do that back then, because I am almost certain that that would have come down right on top of my shed had I not done that. And here we are looking back from the end of my driveway into the cabin. I've got that cleaned out. I was able to get into town last night. Interstate 49 is actually in really good shape. It was dry. The highway that I live on here, Highway 74, it had been plowed several times yesterday, and I guess the real advantage of living this close to the state park with one of 3 accesses to the park, they get it plowed out pretty quickly. So I was actually able to get in and around here pretty well. Well, here's a look down at my little pond just below my spring house. And it froze over just a little bit last night, and it takes pretty cold temperatures to get this thing to freeze. There's a little bit of water that is still coming out from the spring that is about 55-degree water. So unfortunately right now there isn't a great deal of circulation to be able to keep everything thawed out. But here we are. Actually, it's kind of pretty looking off into the distance, looking through the snow. Although pretty and snow is not, it's kind of an oxymoron to me. I think I'll end this episode right here, thanking you for joining me. This was a pretty brief episode just to go over what the storm had for me. Now, it is Thursday, and tomorrow's supposed to be a pretty nice day. Sunday we're supposed to have another winter storm moving in, and then Tuesday and Wednesday of next week another one. So I'm hoping this all melts before that happens and it doesn't accumulate anymore. Thanks for being here. Hit the thumbs up if you would, please, and subscribe, and then please tell a friend. I'll see you on the next one.